K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we are expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at sales@k98fm.com.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
It got up to like $68,000. My heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
Game on, where progressives fear us and rhinos tremble. Welcome to the political jungle. I'm JD.
This is Stacey. No one is safe. No one is spared.
Lock up the children.
And the old folk.
Welcome to the world of liberservative conservatarians.
Guadalupe, it's the Greaseman now. He'll be taking over the Trump campaign to grab ass and boob. Tuesday night, March 29th, 2016, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. JD and Stacey, game on. Part of that Conservative Commandos radio network on that K98 Talk. Whoever thought the first campaign arrest of this season wouldn't be in Clinton land? Good Lord and baby jeebus. Welcome back to all our political geeks, freaks, and back alley sneaks. Everyone within the sound of my voice right now, you know exactly what to do. Get over to K98Talk.org. Get in that chat room. Say hello to Stacey. Say hello to the smartest, drunkest from the pictures they send us, Schmelegates, nakedest radio listening audience in the business. JD and Stacey, your radio acid trip. Hi, how you? Do I have a Miss Lennox?
Yes, you do.
All right. By the way, I lost the K98 office pool. The first arrest was not in the Clinton campaign. Tonight, kids, we're going to be talking Trump, Corey, and the PoPo. Delegate chaos, nonsense of the world, and more. Remember, guys, we're not just here Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on that K98 Talk for Game On. We do it again live Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, Sunday, 11 a.m. Game On, but it's your cure for that mainstream media hangover, baby. Fridays, 5 p.m. We got a show in a little media market called Philadelphia. Won't fight about a big whoop on that WNJC 1360 a.m. Leading into that Yahoo Sports and the CPAC interviews are finally cut and done. From the first day, I'm going to have Sean Hannity's hair, that Charles C.W. Cook, and our Robert Stacey McCain Ash Scow panel up right after the show. And remember, Hooples, after you listen to the boss, that Ricky Tiggy Tavi Rick Robinson, every night 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for that America Off the Rails here on that K98 Talk, you get over to Spreaker.com, hashtag JD and Stacey, JDANDSTACEY. Find out a catalog of everything we've been getting on at that K98 Talk and that 1360 AM WNJC. Good evening, darling.
Hello, how are you?
I'm sitting here bathing nude in Radio God Gold.
I'm going to start drinking during the day.
I already do that. I think I'm going to move over. I'm going to move over to all this heron the kids are talking about. All the heron. God. My parents are too old to go over to their house and raid their cabinets. They got old people medicine. I'm
almost missing the days when we had 747 candidates on the Republican side.
We still do. We
don't.
Yes,
we have 3.
No, we don't. We have the 745 personalities of Donald Trump. We have one Ted Cruz. And you know who we got? We got thugged out Governor K, baby. Yeah, John Casey going to take this all the way to the convention. Come on, Johnny boy. His father was what, a construction worker?
Plumber?
I'm the mailman.
Oh, that's it.
I'm the mailman. Don't nobody mess with me. I'm the mailman. If you didn't know, I'm the mailman.
I don't know why I did. He honestly, you know what he looks like? He looks like somebody at the old folks' home, right, who is scheduled to go outside and play bocce ball, but he wanders into the bingo game by mistake and just grabs the microphone and starts speaking. Have you ever seen this guy? I mean, I guess with the way this is shaking out, one of these two idiots.
You know who's great at public speaking, though, and interviews exceptionally well?
Who?
His wife.
Wife? I don't know if I've ever seen
Kasich's wife. Yeah, no, she is very articulate, very bright, very engaging. I'd vote for her.
You know how patient she has to be? I mean, how long has she been married to this guy? Like 40, 50 years?
I don't know, but she's also a very pretty lady.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how hot you are at this point. This guy wears on me. He's won on me running for I have heard all of his back in the day rocking chair old man stories from Ohio. I've heard them. And he doesn't get any media time. Could you imagine? This woman must have the patience of a saint to listen to him. Could you imagine him coming home from a hard day at the governor's mansion?
Can you imagine being his kid?
Oh, my God. Honey, today they signed a bill. Oh, really, John? Tell me about the bill. Did it have anything to do with the mail? No, but it reminds me of when I was on the student council back in 1960. Oh, Jesus, God, everything reminds him of something. Have an original thought,
anyway,
for Christ's
sake. The reason I was saying that I miss the 747 candidates that we had originally is because we used a circus theme then. And watching the 3 that are left, all I want is a sound effect that goes with a dumpster fire.
Oh, you didn't tell me that. You can't throw it. How's it? This is the closest I can get to dumpster fire right now.
That works. That works.
Rance Priebus losing control.
What the in the basket?
Rance Priebus at this point sounds like a guy giving his own eulogy.
Well, the Rance Priebus, I'm from Wisconsin, never saw a colored man till Barack Obama. We're gonna have a convention. Coretta, some people say the convention's gonna be contested. I say it's gonna be open. I say somebody should have beaten you in a chair before this election cycle, you sawed-off little cheese-eating pack-a-fan midget jerk-off. We will get... I can't. I cannot. I can't with the Rance Priebus. Rance Priebus and Greta Van Susteren should go to the island of Elba and just stay there.
That's interesting.
Okay, terrific.
I'm kind of glad we didn't broadcast on Easter Sunday. Hope everyone had a wonderful holiday.
Hold on.
Mine was awesome. My mom did all the cooking. Love her.
Let me do the. Your father wants to. Archie, I got your beer. It's cold. Archie, why does everybody vote for Donald Trump? Shut up, Edith. Hold on one second here. Okay, I think we're back. In the first segment of the show, as we said in the intro, we're going to be covering Trump, Corey, and the PoPo. So for those of you who don't know who Corey Lewandowski is, he is a detestable, weak, bullying assbag that happens to be Donald Trump's campaign manager. Corey,
and a delegate from New Hampshire. Talk about a conflict of interest.
Corey, as of this morning, has a new theme song for himself.
What you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John don't come for you?
And that is because Lewandowski got himself arrested today. Like I said, the first arrest of the election season wasn't even Hillary Clinton. It was Corey Lewandowski. And he was charged with battery out of Jupiter, Florida. Stacey, why don't you pick it up from there and tell the folks who may be behind why?
Well, apparently at an event in Jupiter, Florida, where the Donald was present, a young reporter named Michelle Fields was attempting to ask Donald a question in the press hall after the event, which when you go into that room, JD and I have had press credentials, and you have to give them your name and your address, and they kind of do a background check, and you can bet if Secret Service is involved, these people are thoroughly checked. So everybody knows who you are once you're in that room. There's no bad people in there. Unless you don't happen to like the media, which Donald Trump doesn't like a good section of, depending on what day of the week it is. So as Michelle was trying to ask him a question, according to videotape taken at the event that was released today by the police, not prior, as she was attempting to ask him a question and Donald was moving away from her, Corey Lewandowski reached through and over another person, grabbed her left arm, yanked her. You could see her kind of stumble a little bit, then let go. She stood up and kind of looked around to see what had just happened. Her account of this story came out, I don't know what, JD, about a week and a half ago. The Trump campaign.
No, it was closer. No, I was doing the math on it before. It was closer to 3. This has been close to 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
This happened 2 days after we got back from CPAC, and he was just charged today.
Wow, time flies. Anyway, so in the ensuing days, much like Amanda Carpenter has been completely smeared in the last several days over this National Enquirer story, Ms. Fields was smeared by the Trump campaign. Mr. Lewandowski said he had never seen her, never touched her, never happened. Completely disavowed the whole thing. Somebody reached out to, really reputable blogger Chuck C. Johnson and had them write a smear piece on her based on something that had happened a couple of years ago. And really just put this person through the ringer up to the point where she used to be a regular on Cashing In with Eric Bolling, and when Eric Bolling came back on the air, she was not sitting on the panel.
Now wait, before you pick that back up, I saw something very interesting before, because you and I have both been working. I've been unplugged from the news. I happened to have the 5 on before. Megyn Kelly is having Michelle Fields on tonight. And folks, this is about really understanding, and this is going to go into a piece about who created Trump, understanding who is telling you the truth and who is a shill. Eric Bolling gave 2 promos going to break. One was for 8 p.m. on Fox, where he'd be sitting in for Bill O'Reilly. One was for 10 p.m., so everybody could tune in and hear Donald Trump's huge explanation. Do you know he did not promo Michelle Fields 9 o'clock, Megyn Kelly?
Of course he didn't. Eric Bolling, none of the Trumpers are promoting anything about Megyn Kelly. The only person on that network who has spoken out in defense of Megyn Kelly and her attempts at doing journalism to some extent has been Brett Baer. That's the only one.
He's the best of what there is out there. So now you have a little bit of a setup about what happened. You now have, and think about this, folks. Think about this. Only the celebrity of Donald Trump could have. Could you imagine if any other frontrunner or other candidate had their campaign manager arrested? Gail Collins at the New York Times ran 15 stories on Mitt Romney putting a dog on the top of his car and a haircut he may or may not have given a kid when they were 14 years old. Donald Trump's campaign manager was arrested for battery. Now, Trumpkins, listen up. Take your hand off your schmeckle, put your ear on the radio, because this is very important. all of you Trumpkins out there, and the Trumpkin is not somebody who supports Donald Trump. Trumpkins are these detestable neo-nationalist
Oh, my God.
skulls.
One of them was trolling Mary Catherine Ham yesterday.
Trumpkins are the awful side of what comes out, and they're the ones that have told us that Donald is the leader. Yeah, and he is the only one because he's a strong man, because he's a strong man, because he's a strong man. You're strong man right now, Trumpkins. Do you know what he's doing? He's
complaining about a little girl touching him on the arm.
He is defending a man. He is defending a man who grabbed a woman, pulled him away from dear leader while she was doing her job. Now. Trumpkins, listen up. Keep your hand up. Schmeckle, ear on the radio. I know that you can focus for a minute and 5 seconds. This is the great Donald Trump, the man of the people, baby, the one that's going to make America great again. From his own almost 9-figure private plane. Here's the hero of the little man defending this scumbag, Corey Lewandowski.
I can only say Corey's a fine person. I looked at the tape, but the tapes were supplied by me. You know, those tapes, just so you understand. This is a very high-end club, and we had tapes all over the place, and we supplied those tapes. And those tapes, to me, are very conclusive. A lot of people are looking and saying, how can anybody be charged? She was actually, if you look at her, my book, and according to a lot of people, she's grabbing at me. And he's acting as an intermediary and trying to block her from doing that. The news conference was over. It was done. It was finished. And she was running up and grabbing and asking questions, and she wasn't supposed to be doing that. And I think he should, I told him, I said, you should never settle this case. You should go all the way. I think they've really hurt a very good person. And I know it'd be very easy for me to discard people. I don't discard people. I stay with people. That's why I stay with this country. That's why I stay with a lot of people that are treated unfairly. And that's one of the reasons I'm the front runner by a lot. If you look
and
at
that's
that
why
tape, he was very, very seriously maligned, and I think it's very unfair.
And Trumpkins,
and that's why he bounced a Politico reporter who wrote about Corey Lewandowski's repeated problems with women throughout the course of his career from the last campaign stop he had. So another guy doing his job and saying, hey, this Lewandowski guy ain't the best dude in the world either, got bounced.
So Trumpkins, one of the things that should concern you the most in that, because you all present the Donald as the only one that can make America great again. All right, we've been failed by the establishment, and Mexicans and Muslims, and I don't disagree with most of that sentiment, okay? But the man that you idiots are out there pining to be put in the White House to replace at least, screw his math, he's a moron, at least 2 Supreme Court justices, thinks that Corey should go all the way and not settle this. Let me help you out there, Mr. Law and Order. As a matter of fact, you know what, little Donnie, here, let us help you with this, little Donnie.
All he had to do was say sorry.
Little Donnie, he was charged criminally, not civilly. He doesn't have a chance whether or not he takes this all the way to the end and fights this and wouldn't settle. No, morons. No, morons. The great Trump does not get to settle, and neither does this detestable jerk-off of a campaign manager. They don't. You want to know why? Because it's a criminal charge. And it wouldn't happen, and I remember, and this one got thrown down, and I don't care.
And the dumb part of it?
Michelle Fields could not run through a stretched-out line of wet toilet paper. And you're telling me Donald Trump and this other jerk had a manhandler? No.
Well, and the other thing is this. I've seen a lot of punditry legal folks today, and we have a couple of those on Twitter, saying it's not going to come down to necessarily what he actually did to her, but the fact that he balls out lied about it.
Ding, 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 ding. Tell the pretty lady what she's won. That's exactly it. And do you know what little Donnie with little doll hands, press the little buttons. You know what Donnie did today? Donnie hasn't even been elected president, and he went the full Richard Nixon. And for those of you who went to public school and might be a little younger than Stacey and myself, Richard Nixon did not get impeached for the act that he was actually impeached for. He was impeached for covering it up because I don't abandon people, just like I don't abandon my country, and I'm not a crook. Jackie Mason said it the best. He said, Richard Nixon, how could he only end up with phlebitis? You can't screw 300 million people and get phlebitis. It's the cover-up. It's this knee-jerk reaction of living in this fantasy world and coming back on the other side. We're going to have a little insight into that fantasy world from an open letter written by a woman who was the head of a Trump PAC. And it really does give you a peek behind the curtain. Usually, though, when JD's peeking behind the curtain, he's put 25 cents in a little machine in Times Square, baby. Coming back.
They got rid of those.
I know. Now I use my debit card. Why do you got to tell all the people my secrets?
I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.
I guess the gig is up. The radio wife let it out. I don't go to midget torches anymore. Honey, if I go to the peep show and put in my nickels. Coming back. Who created Trump? We're going to finish that up. Delegates, Schmelegates, whatever the hell we feel like talking about. You want to know what? This show is getting so big so fast. Diamond Dave taking JD and Stacey. Game on. K98 Talk. Out the break.
One break coming up.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan. This is the most transparent administration in history. Not even a smidgen of corruption.
Fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. What difference at this point does it make?
If you got a business, you didn't build that.
The feeling most people get when they hear Barack Obama's speech, I felt this thrill going up my leg. I mean, I don't have that too often.
Steady.
It's time to hear the truth about America's biggest challenges. Ricky Robinson, host of America Off the Rails, will tackle the important issues facing America today as he tries to keep America from coming off the track. Get ready to hear the truth every Monday through Friday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, here on K98Talk.com and the Spark Radio Network.
Welcome to the face. Welcome to the face of the new democracy.
Are you conservative in a world of liberal?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're not alone. Hey, I'm Daniel Stafford, host of the Stafford Voice, and I'd like to invite you to tune in each Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern, where I'll break down the events of the week, and together we'll learn about how they affect you. So, sit back and get ready for the good, the bad, and the ugly of talk radio right here on K98 Talk.
From the Vikings of Norway to my home down south to Washington, D.C., I've been around. I've seen it all, and I've come out on top. You better beware, for all you know, the bell tolls for you. Enter the bell tower or watch your step. 8 p.m. Thursdays, K98 Talk.
This ain't no joke. Light up that smoke. Have your bumper radio coke. JD and Stacey here. Game on. Everybody right now, get over to K98Talk.org. Get in that chat room. Say hello to Stacey. Say hello. Join the conversation. Remember, guys, game on. Not just here Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on K98 Talk. Do it again Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. Sunday, 11 a.m. It's a morning show, but we cure your mainstream media hangover, baby. Friday, 5 p.m. Philadelphia. Big Whoop. Want to fight about it? WNJC, 1360 a.m. Drive time Fridays leading into Yahoo Sports. passports. Yep, what are you going to do about it? Part of that Conservative Commandos radio network. And remember, guys, stay tuned here for the rest of the evening. You're going to have the boss on at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight for that America Off the Rails with that Ricky Ticky Tavi Rick Robinson. And then when you want your K98 Talk Pleasure, after midnight, baby, after midnight, all the way to 6 in the morning, you get over to Spreaker.com, hashtag JD and Stacey, JDANDSTACEY. Find a catalog of everything we've been doing here with that Ricky Ticky Tavi Rick Robinson, that K98 Talk. And yes, if this one goes up on Friday, the cantankerous Mr. Rick Trader.
Uh-oh. You're going to get an email in all caps.
It doesn't mean I'm yelling at you, JD. It just means I'm old and I can't see.
We got in a little bit of trouble.
Hey, Trumpkins, get off the track. Trump bags. I think that it's what do you want to do? I think that we should stick with who created Trump in the open letter, then see if there's time for some of that delegate stuff, or did you want to shift gears? What do you want to do?
No, that works for me.
Stacey brought two really, really well-written and informative articles to my attention. One was about basically the creation of Donald Trump and who was responsible. Do you remember off the top of your head who wrote that, Stacey?
It is a guy named, of course, the page won't load, Matt. I was in threads with him for days. Matt Cover from an organization called Opportunity Lives.
Right, and you can find it over on OpportunityLives.com. The other one can be found at exojane.com, and it was fascinating. It's from the comms director of Trump's former PAC. Did you want to open up with Matt's article about basically who is the creation of Trump and why is he?
And basically what brought this, back to my mind again today was, of course, Boo at a journalism award last night. Kind of started smacking the press around a little bit for its treatment of Donald Trump, though he didn't mention him by name.
Well, it's easy. Let me tell you something. It's easy to smack the press in the face with your schmeckle when they've been gobbling on it for 7 years.
Yeah, I know. So the source was a little questionable, but you have also seen these critiques from MRC and the Federalist and a couple of other NRO, probably most notably, where they have gone back, and I think it was the Weekly Standard that did the most in-depth. They have gone back and actually calculated Donald Trump's free media exposure at $2 billion.
2.1, yeah.
Which is phenomenal. And when you look at the sheer number of minutes he's garnered, compared to any other candidate in the race at any point in time, it's literally shocking. I mean, he literally phones it in almost every morning to Fox and Friends.
But what I want to focus on is they make a very big wait. I want to focus on the distinction between what they call true conservatives and this. What did he call it? A conservative, not the movement, but like a professional conservative establishment or something like that, right?
Well, I was talking about media in general, and it goes across the spectrum: CNN, MSNBC, all of them, right? But what Matt brings to light is a lot of people want to blame the media, but what he talks more about, and what I've actually been asking this question for a number of weeks and months actually, and I get smacked around on it for social media all the time. He says when you take a look at what's gone on, most notably since the 2014 election, and the expectations that were set when we brought a Republican majority to the Senate, it's like everybody forgot who Barack Obama was. And to some extent, what he's saying is the creation of Trump is actually an attempt by what he calls the anti-establishment, which he puts people in that bucket like Mark Levin and Sean Hannity and a couple other what you call movement conservatives or movement conservative pundits, and the people who were really setting expectations far and beyond what we really should have expected with a president who still doesn't negotiate. And when you take a look at the emails we were bombarded with and the number of things that got blamed on the establishment i.e. John Boehner and Mitch McConnell. And please don't misunderstand me. I worked for the primary challenger for John Boehner, helped him in any way I possibly could. But down to things like not being able to get rid of Obamacare, that was never going to happen under this president.
But I think what I thought was one of the most interesting underlying themes is that, and basically they were talking about certain pundits, certain radio personalities, some people in the written what you would call conservative media. And basically they actually compared them to the same political establishment, to Stacey's point, that everybody's railing against right now. Only what they did was basically continually beat over the head. And look, John Boehner deserves it. Mitch McConnell deserves it. But it was over things they would have no control over. So basically what they would do is they set up the straw man for the establishment. And what I found so compelling and interesting about this article is that basically what they had intended to do was have this punditry and media class basically subvert the power that the GOP establishment in D.C. had, where you would now be plugging in candidates that would have to take their marching orders from the punditry class, except that something happened along the way. It ran into two things. It ran into reality, and it ran into Donald Trump. Because a lot of these conservative radio talk show hosts, and you know who they are, I'll give you an example. Take Hannity, for instance. Hannity's been around, but Hannity's not a well-studied, thought-out bastion of conservatism. Take Mark Levin. That's somebody who more understands the movement itself. And what you have is you have them, I can't fault Hannity because I don't think he knows much better in a lot of instances for railing against, I think he's a fool. But Levin and some others you can, because they understand the process that they're selling to their audience is an impossibility. And what they're doing is they're stoking embers for the sake of ratings. And Stacey and I have actually had conversations. These conversations go back before the show ever started. These conversations go back to fairly recently. And for her and I, it's very important, whether we stay on these platforms and 1360 or we move on and we continue to grow, her and I, to our audience, are never going to be anything but truthful to what we are thinking in the moment. And that is where you've had a failure to this article's point. So now you have this creation. You have Trumpenstein. You have the Trumpenstein mania out there. There are people behind the curtain of this facade, such as the woman from the PAC, correct, Stacey? The comms director.
Yep, she's the PAC comms director.
You want to go into that ExoJane article?
Yeah, sure. Basically, what I found most interesting about this article, and again, her name is Stephanie, and I'm going to Sejeski, I believe, Segeski.
It is. Hold on, I'm the Polak here. Come on, Sejilski.
Sorry, you would know better.
She had the fresh kielbasa and the blessed eggs and the butter at Easter dinner because you got to go to church because the Polacks, they got no money and they love Jesus.
And she was recruited about a year ago to actually head up Donald Trump's super PAC and be the communications director for that. So one of the most important things is she says she's taking full responsibility for helping to create this monster. But one of the more telling things is at the very beginning. She was told the goal was to get the Donald to poll in double digits and come in second in the delegate count. That was it.
I want you to read that to the audience again. I want you to all keep in mind, this is the communications director for the original Trump PAC with the blessing of the Trump organization back over a year ago. And what was their goal?
Their goal was for Donald to poll in double digits and come in second in delegate count. That was it. The Trump camp would have been satisfied to see him polling at 12% and taking second place to a candidate who might hold 50%. His candidacy was a protest candidacy.
And do you know what I found amazing? Were we saying it on the air, or were you and I speaking the other night about Lou Dobbs not being able to speak because he was goggling on Trump's set?
Oh, God.
Right, but I want you to hold on a second. Everybody forgets. Everybody lives in such presentism and now. Lou Dobbs floated very seriously in 2008 and 2012, both to coincide with book launches, on running a presidential bid. And it was for the exact same reason. He wanted to be a protest candidate. He wanted to do what Huckabee did. This is the Huckabee model. This is the Huckabee model. You win a state or two, it gets you a book deal, a little more street cred, and that's where little Donnie with little doll hands, this idiot running around like, I have been thinking about that. No, he hasn't.
Only I can fix it.
Thank you. Why do you think you get nothing about unhominums? I've mentioned this before. John Batchelor, go find him, Batchelor Show, on Twitter. He puts his episodes out every hour. He does a 4-hour program a day. He was speaking about this the other day. I want you to think about this. Go back. Sajilski makes the point in this article that she was waiting as an insider to the Trump campaign for policy and substance, Instead, every time I vow to build a wall because for all the beautiful Mexicans who have been through my wife's door, I vow to build a wall, okay? So every time this guy answers a policy question, everybody in America is probably...
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
But it's okay because he only wanted to poll in double digits and be a protest candidate for the everyman that watched The Apprentice. But now... She says
because of the anger created by some of these pundits saying our Congress was not doing what they were supposed to do.
Well, exactly. And look, she literally goes as far in this to call Trump.
You're a liar! You know something that you're not telling us, you slimy scumbag liar!
And ear to the radios again, Trumpkins. And I'm sure, and you know what? I love Trump-splaining. Because if they're all in, there's nothing you can show them. Oh, no, you know what happened? I bet you she's really old and fat and nobody wants to bang her and she's just angry. Oh, yeah, okay. This woman, for all of you...
It's a public relations and public policy expert
who the Donald Trump...
the organization.
Who the Donald Trump organization paid to push their message. And in this article, she goes on, not only was he never been prepared to be where he is, he doesn't understand... One of the people higher up in the campaign, probably in a real Staten Island accent, because it said that she worked for the Donald Trump organization in media and PR. And PR, you know what I learned when I went to PR? PR doesn't mean Puerto Rican. It means public relations. Who knows? She said as recently as this past August, publicly in a campaign meeting, what was it about Common Core? What did she think Common Core was?
She thought it was a class at Excelsior College. That's Hope Hicks. She's a moron.
Thank you. So you have this look behind the curtain, and what that leaves us with is you have a man running for the most important office in the world, the leader of the free world, who's campaign manager right now as we speak. Waiting for some...
Whose comms director has no soul. I'm sorry, she just doesn't.
Who is now locked in a battle of I do not lose. So now he is the dog that has caught the car. He's the dog that's caught the car and he doesn't know what to do. But what he does know, baby, is he's not going to lose. He's not going to lose. And I think that leads us with about 3 minutes left into what could possibly be a very, very, very good week for Ted Cruz. Why? Because it's quiet. Trump wasn't quiet because he was hunting wabbits. He took a week off the trail. There haven't been a lot of primaries since Arizona and Utah. However, April 2nd through
there
the 3rd...
hasn't been a lot of polling since the dumpster fire of the last 5 days.
No, as a matter of fact, North Dakota, we have a couple minutes here. North Dakota, and by the way, folks, get ready for one of the... Everybody who thinks they know at this point about the convention, and Stacey and I have tried to bring out some points, nobody knows. These rules and delegates and bound and unbound get stranger by the minute. North Dakota over April 2nd and 3rd has something that they call a hybrid of a GOP statewide conference, kind of caucus, but it's not a caucus. Because the delegates
it's where their delegates are selected.
Right, but it is a caucus-ish. And, oh, by the way, it's not 1 day, it's 2, and that's for 28 delegates. Okay, so I couldn't find any polling on this. Who knows what's going to happen in North Dakota? But
it doesn't matter because the people of North Dakota never vote.
But in the state of Wisconsin, which has 42 delegates, which the next primary is April 5th, you have Scott Walker endorsing Ted Cruz today, and the RCP average of polls running March 19th through the 24th. So before this Trump battery, right? You basically had a statistical tie. Cruz polling a little ahead about 32.3. The delegate count right now: Trump is at 736, Cruz is at 463, Rubio is still ahead of Kasich.
I know.
Rubio's got
But let me explain. Those delegates are going to go somewhere in the first round, and I'm almost sure it's not to Donald Trump.
60 seconds. First round bound. Second round unbound. We're going to see what happens.
And they're all unbound in North Dakota, Colorado, and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's 54 delegates go into the first round unbound and actually voted against the state in George Bush versus Ronald Reagan.
So I think that this is going to be interesting, tying up before we shoot out to break to close the show, coming into the 10 o'clock hour. I think what's going to be very interesting here is April 5th, and I think it's going to be interesting to see if the media and the campaign narrative changes at all, because in all seriousness, if you're a Donald Trump fan and you're okay with what Donald Trump is defending in Corey Lewandowski, I don't even mean this half-kiddingly, I don't want or need to know you. Because this isn't about politics.
Not my party.
This is not about politics. This is not about your guy. This is not about Hillary Clinton. This is not about that Trump train, baby. This is very simple. This is very simple. Amen, amen, amen. At no point, at any time, I don't care how you want to try and make it funny, should ever put his hands on a woman unless that woman jumped into his bed, put on some Lionel Richie and said, let's get at it, baby. Coming back. Nonsense of the world. Wrapping up the show. JD and Stacey here. K98 Talk. Part of that Conservative Commandos Radio Network on that WNJC. Game on. Coming right back.
Hey everybody, this is Jason, host of According to Me. I'd like to invite you to check out my show. It's a 2-hour show that lasts 60 minutes in...
Listen, I hate to interrupt, but one thing I can do is read off a script. Just say, let me be clear a lot. It works.
President Obama, I can handle this. It's a radio promo. I'm not green. I've done this before.
Did someone say green?
Now, Al Gore is here. Listen, I'm just trying to record a radio promo. Do you mind?
Now, do you say good things about me on the show?
No, not at all. But if it makes you feel any better, I rip on Republicans just as much.
The AM radio frequencies give off very high levels of radiation.
Look, my show is on the internet, which you invented. Can I just do my promo?
I got a pen. I can veto that, you know.
I know you got a pen. It's not a law. It's a radio promo. Listen, just listen to my show. Barack Obama and Al Gore hate it, so you're going to love it.
Here's an executive order. Don't listen to his show. He doesn't like me. He's racist. And he doesn't recycle either.
That's it. I'm done. It's According to Me, Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on K98 Talk.
This show was good, but why you up early with us on a Sunday morning making a cocktail? News lately from the mainstream media by Sunday. We are, and we got you covered.
We sure do. We got your hangover cure for those weekly news blues. So sit back, top off your mimosa, and add some Baileys to that coffee.
Take a match to your copy of the New York Times. Light, funny, and oh yeah, news with booze.
And a lot of laughter.
Welcome to Bloody Marys and Broadsheets. If it's Sunday, it's Bloody Marys and Broadsheets.
We're your cure from your weekly news hangover.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members or their families, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to keep them secure for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost, for life, so that they might stand at ease. Join us at findwwp.org.
K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we are expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level, or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at sales@k98fm.com.
JD and Stacey back live here. Game on, part of that conservative radio network on that. Where are we on? K98 Talk. Everybody right now, get over to K98Talk.org. Get in that chat room. Say hello to Stacey. Drunkest, nakedest, oive schmear, listening audience in the business. Remember, guys, after the show, not during it, you're going to stick around at 11 o'clock hour. Got the boss, that Ricky Ticky Tavi Rick Robinson, doing that America off the rails. After the show at midnight, coming into that 6 a.m. hour, baby, you're going over to Spreaker.com. Hashtag JD and Stacey. JDANDSTACEY. Going to find out everything we've been doing. Give yourself some nice dawn patrol with some game on. And then, looking in the chat room, I don't want to confuse everybody. We are not ending the live show Sunday morning at 11 a.m. As a matter of fact, nothing really is going to change. We're still going to be doing Eric's weekend update. It's basically going to be the same show, but you know, with the way that things are going on, the whole Lionel Richie slow and I think from a branding point of view, JD and Stacey, we are speaking about ourselves in the third person. It's over. I think
you sound like Trump.
I think Stacey is shut up. There have been so many beautiful Mexicans to my wife's door. I vowed to build a wall.
Trump
Corey.
does that.
Oh. You want to know something? This actually fits perfectly into the segment, and it wasn't even. Okay, so with the idiocy of the week, I can't believe. Oh, please tell me. Hold on a second. I have it in the text I sent to you.
Can we talk about karma first?
Wait, before we do that, can we talk about Lewandowski's lawyer, please?
No, that's karma.
Okay, good.
To keep up with the complete misogynistic theme of the entire Trump campaign, okay? All right? The lawyer they've picked... Hey,
where are the white women at?
The lawyer they've picked for Corey Lewandowski there in South Florida is former U.S. Attorney General, Kendall Coffey.
Oh, please let me
who, back in 1996, had to resign his position after meeting with none other than Janet Reno. That would be scary.
And that is because
there's an allegation that, according to some observers, he actually bit a stripper in a nightclub in South Dade County.
Now, I want you to...
But he declined to discuss his meeting with Janet Reno post-resignation in 1996. And he also said he was barred by the Justice Department from talking about the alleged incident with the stripper at the Lipstick, S-T-I-K, adult club.
I want you to think about this. The Donald Trump campaign, baby, they only hire the best, right? So they found themselves, Lewandowski found himself a lawyer who in 1996, baby, about 20 years ago, was out making it rain in that strip club. Ta-cow. Throwing dollar bills up in the air. And the lawyer bites a stripper. This is like a joke. A rabbi, a midget, and a lawyer walk into a bar. What happened? Hey, excuse me, ma'am, does your dog
and
bite?
2 Corinthians. Don't forget 2 Corinthians.
Oh, my God. Hold on a second. Let me hit the audio bubble here. Christ on the cross.
I'm seeing Facebook posts that are being posted in the chat room that Donald Trump and his town hall now wants Saudi Arabia, South Korea, and Japan to all have nuclear weapons. It says the government's primary jobs are security, healthcare, and education. God, this is getting bad.
But for those of you who are depressed by some of the goings-on in the world on today's show, have no fear. Everybody in the world is crazy. Even the Durkas have their nuts.
Durka.
Now, usually when we read stories like this, it ends with an airliner being blown out of the sky. So an Egypt airplane was hijacked today, baby. One of the...
Durka.
got on a plane and claimed he had a... And everybody thought...
Virgin.
And Jorge Villichez was like... So this Durka mud hut savage jerk-off gets on an Egypt airplane and hijacks it today. Why isn't this the world's biggest news? Because it wasn't ISIS. So we've all seen the Chuck Norris movies. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. I have a bomb. We will fly to Palestine and you will give us $55 million and release our brothers. And then Chuck Norris comes out and, there's like George Kennedy and then like an old 80s Bronco comes out. Machine guns. Allah. And they kill all the Durkas, right? No. This is what it looked like was going to happen. So he comes on, I got the bomb, my friend. They're like, oh, we were going to fly. Yes, you must take the plane. And, the pilots are like, oh, Christ, we're going to have to go to Palestine or Iraq or Afghanistan. Where is this jihadi jerk-off want to take us? Okay, I have bomb on plane. You must take plane to Cyprus. Huh?
This was great.
Hold on a second.
Responding to reports the hijackers' motives were personal, officials at Egypt's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said they were aware of reports that he is seeking asylum and discussing his ex-wife. They told The Guardian, he's not a terrorist, he's an idiot. Terrorists are crazy, but they aren't stupid. This guy is.
This guy, in 2016, when ICE is taking over the world and military jets willing to shoot down airliners, sits there and goes, I got to get a message to my ex-wife. Keep in mind it is 2016. This is not 736 AD.
No,
email. Right. We're getting a message to your ex-wife would entail getting on a camel and then going find the guy who knows how to chisel into rocks. And then 9 months later it gets there and she goes, no, you are still jerk-off. I don't want you. No.
All he did was throw the note out the window and run away.
Well, but you know how pissed the ex-wife was going to be? I'd run too. What
she was there.
This is they really. Somebody please. This guy should have just blown himself. So wait a minute. So when he got on the plane, he's like, "Okay, okay, passengers, everybody pay attention. I have a bomb." And all the passengers are going, "Oh Christ, where are we gonna end up? Palestine? Oh, don't know Afghanistan. Big Bambi, big bucks, no whammy, no Afghanistan. We must go to Cyprus." And the whole plane is like,
"That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works."
Imagine being disappointed because your hijacker
He's
was
not
a
a terrorist. He's an idiot. Was an official statement.
Oh, my God. He's not just a presidential candidate. He's an idiot. All right. Not to be topped off by that moron. We are now in the world. Oh, has anybody seen the Lil Wayne commercials for the Samsung Galaxy 7? Where he's sitting there with the virtual reality glass on. He's like, Lil Wayne sitting in his house. And he puts on the virtual Wayne. He's like, oh, Lil Wayne kayaking. And then out of nowhere, 30 seconds into the commercial, comes Wesley Snipes wearing a Rocky hat. And Lil Wayne's like, oh, it's Wesley Snipes in my house. And he puts it on. He's like, I'm surfing in Thailand with Wesley Snipes. And Wesley Snipes is like, really cool. So not to be outdone, I guess virtual reality is here to stay. According to the New York Post, because if it's not written there, I don't read it. Virtual reality porn is here. As Oculus VR finally ships its virtual reality headsets to the public, it's heralding the potential of video games and movies, but it's also quietly giving a wink to porn producers.
Well, how else would you talk to them?
Okay, the Facebook-owned startup. Here's some social... Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg's and Facebook's social justice warriorism stops at the 14-year-olds that got touched by crack dealers getting off buses in L.A. because they're okay to be in the virtual reality porn. That its new Rift headset has more than 30 games available, because that's why people are going to buy it. With 100 titles expected... The VR porn flicks. Why don't you pick it up from there?
Well, basically, I did read a couple of reviews of the Rift, and it said basically you sit around in a room with other people and never speak. So I'm not really sure what this is going to look like. But,
why do you think they need virtual reality porn? I don't go out and get yourself laid.
No, because they're lonely.
For anybody who is considering this, okay, here, let me some mood music. Shut up, unplug it, go outside, lock your front door, go to the bar, and find a divorcee who hates the world. Just
to date, VR porn is viewed mainly on smartphone-powered headsets like Samsung Gear VR and Google Cardboard. VR porn videos already number north of 1,000 from professional studios alone.
Oh, how many? Is there anything there about midgets?
No.
We're an equal opportunity show, so I'm sure there's gay porn.
Those men wanted to have sex.
Of course, if Facebook is involved.
I just made myself ill. What do we want to do? Brain zapping gadgets or Mushel getting finding the kids? For not eating
this brain zapping gadgets makes me a little bit nervous. This is like, what did they used to do with people who
lobotomies?
No, not lobotomies. The
shock therapy.
Yeah, this is like shock therapy.
You got it. It's a
Self-diagnosed and imposed electroshock therapy.
Oh, is it?
So there's these companies now that are making these things that you attach to your forehead and zap yourself with low-level electrical stimuli to calm down. So it's no longer take a few deep breaths or have a drink. No, you're going to start messing with your brain waves.
How many sick people you think are hooking these up to their testicles?
Well, apparently there's one right there that's even thinking like that.
Who?
You!
No, stop it. You know how sick people are? Oh, this is the world. The world
How
is
sick do you have to be to think of it?
We did a story on a Chinese guy who converted a freaking office robot so he could have sex with it. I'm just a student of history, baby.
Oh, my God. Hey, on the upside, if they do that a lot, they may not be able to breathe.
Oh, wait, what were we talking about?
I said on the upside, if they do that a lot, they may not be able to breathe. That would be a good thing.
I hope so. Go out, have a conversation with somebody. Learn a good rap. All right, we got 30 seconds. The kids hate Obama's food, right? 30 seconds.
Oh my God! Now they're gonna fine schools of dollars for violating Michelle Obama's lunch program. Because school districts have so much money independently to put into their school lunch program. Not only that, 1.4 million students have left the free lunch line since these things have gone into effect.
Yeah,
we're feeding fewer kids, and we're going to penalize school districts. Well done, Michelle. Well done.
I don't care if she's the first lady or not. From JD, Stacey, and the rest of America, Ms. Obama.
Shut up!
All right, baby girl. Unfortunately, the fastest hour in conservative radio is over. Remember, guys, off tomorrow. Come back Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back doing this game on again here on that K98 Talk. This is the part of the night where I look at my co-host, that radio wife, and I say, you got them keys, baby?
I don't. I actually lost my keys today. You got the spare?
God, no wonder you were so happy when I spoke to you before. Tell the nice people where they can find you and what you're going to be doing.
Oh, you can always find me on @ScottsFire on Twitter, SCOTSFYRE, or Stacey Lennox on Twitter, and maybe a few other places coming up in the next few weeks.
You can find me at Game On JD on the Twitters when capitalism isn't interfering. Stay tuned, kids. I have a little bit of writing coming out to surprise everybody with. Remember, bulletproof vest. Stacey sold me out about the midget tossers. You know it's weirder than that. We'll see you Thursday.
I'm looking for you, you Occupy freaks with your glitter bombs. Bring it on! Bring on the glitter. Everything has changed. Everything has changed in the last few years. Conservatives used to take it, and we're not taking it anymore.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com. If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.